Would you look at that? There is a day where my favourite team loses, and I'm here. Um, to be completely honest, with Steph being out of the lineup and with the game going how it was, I wasn't as mad as I probably was for most of the Houston series. Like, this game, I can at least appreciate a little bit more, and this series as an entirety, because it's more basketball. Whereas, excuse me, with the Rocket series, it was just like it just seemed like scrappy basketball. There was, the constant fouling and the antics and just everything to do with that Houston series. It was just really dragged along basketball. Whereas with this series, I feel like as a viewer, it's much better to watch. And it's much better to take in. There's two teams that are actually going at it, two offensive teams that I can respect. I really don't have a hate bone for anyone on the Minnesota Timberwolves roster. Obviously, it annoys me how good they are because I'm in the middle of a playoff series with them, but they're a really good team, and I don't have any issues with any of the players, so it's easier to watch that way. In this one, Golden State go down 93 to 117. A lot of people sort of expected this sort of showing from our offense, not having Steph in the rotation, and it showed. We gave away like 5 or 6 24-second violations in this game. And for a professional basketball team, that is pretty near inexcusable. It was a terrible showing of our offense. The defense, the only problem that I had with our defense is we would get stops when we weren't scoring. And as soon as we started to score the ball, they would immediately score on the other side of the ball. We just couldn't do it on both ends at the same time. And when you're chasing tail for a whole game, starting the game down 13-0, you have to make stops and get scores. You have to do it on both ends. And it was just one of these games where the team was unable to do it on both ends. The Timberwolves offensively, I'm looking at the box score here. Nickeil Alexander-Walker had 20 points. That's got to be one of the quietest 20-point performances I've seen in a while. To be completely honest, like thinking actually back on it, he, was hitting his three-point shot. His three-pointer out of all of the players on the team, he was probably their best shooter. It was said on the broadcast that all three of Minnesota's bench played and hit at least 3 threes each. Naz Reid hit 3. Dante DiVincenzo hit 3, although that was all he did. But other than that, Dante got back-to-back offensive rebounds in the first quarter, and to be honest, it killed us. We couldn't do anything about it. To let somebody that small at 6'1" get 2 back-to-back offensive rebounds, and mind you, both of them ended up in 3-point jump shots, one from Naz and one from Anthony Edwards. It's really not what you want. Especially being such a small guy. And we're a small team. Now, Golden State are a small team. Nobody's denying that. We are by far the smallest team left in the playoffs. You literally go through every other playoff roster that I can think of, and they have at least one genuine 7-footer. The closest thing we have to a 7-footer is Quentin Post. And other than being a rookie who was selected like 50th overall, he has no strength. I don't know what it is, but other than that one game against the Rockets last series where he had 12 rebounds, just can't grab rebounds. He's scared to actually get inside into the paint on offense. You see him, the stretch ability is awesome and it's great to have. But when you're 7 foot and you're refusing to get into the paint, especially if you've got like a 6'3" dude standing in front of you, it's not acceptable. Like it blows my mind, and It's going to happen because people play to their play styles. And especially with today's modern NBA and how much people are shooting the ball night in and night out, more and more people are just going to adapt to wanting to and feeling like they need to shoot the ball. It's just not the case. When you have a 6'3" person standing in front of you and you're 7 foot tall, get your ass in the paint. It doesn't make any sense. I don't understand it. As I said, everyone on the bench for the Timberwolves. Anthony Edwards went down with the injury. Thank God he came back. I want to see everybody playing this series. It just sucks that what happened to Steph happened. Otherwise, we would have had an absolute dogfight of a series. We now go back to Chase Center after getting blown out. 1-1. So realistically, when you think about it, we did what we had to do. We went and got one at Minnesota, and now you got to go back and win. They're saying Steph's going to be back for Game 5. I don't know how realistic it is, especially with a soft muscle like that. It's always really hard to predetermine. We need to get one of the next two at home. I don't know particularly where the offense comes from. Shout out to Jonathan Kuminga, by the way, today finally came off the bench. And Steve Kerr actually played in minutes. And he played really well. He was actually shooting the ball pretty decently. The only thing I can really fault him with today was his free throws. 1 for 4 from the free throw line for a tall guard who likes to get into the paint and draw fouls. 1 for 4 is not going to cut it. Because you do all that effort just to get to the free throw line and you're going to miss the free throws. It doesn't make any sense. Trace Jackson-Davis actually gave us decent minutes today. It reminds me, actually. The one thing with this basketball team that I sort of really can't wrap my head around is I know Steph Curry's injured and I know that we're undermanned and we don't know what we're going to do offensively and what's going to work, what's not going to work. But I don't need fucking Brandon Key checking in the second quarter. Steve Kerr literally played every single person on his bench in the first half of the game. In a league where the Timberwolves are playing legitimately 8 guys, the fact that we're playing 14 guys in the first half is insane. I understand, the fourth quarter scrub time, if we're down by 20, then they get the run. I know Steve's probably trying to work stuff out, and, I can't blame him. He's led the Warriors to every single bit of success that they've had over the last 10 years. But playing these sorts of guys in this game just feels really, really weird. And for that matter, I'm looking at Braxton Key played more minutes than Kevon Looney. Kevon Looney has been with us through thick and thin. He's been through everything. And he is a hell of a rebounder. And we've got him playing 3 minutes. He played the least amount of minutes out of anyone on the team. Especially when we're undersized, I don't understand why he doesn't, sort of get into that role and at least get more minutes to combat with the Julius Randles, who were just... Julius did everything he wanted to today. Rudy Gobert was, ridiculous on the rebounds, as he always is, in the minutes that he did actually play. I saw he got hit in the eye or something and didn't play for the rest of the game, but still got 27 minutes up, got 9 rebounds. Played a good game for his standards. And the last thing, really, that I wanted to touch on is Jimmy Butler and not looking at the basketball ring. It's become really, really concerning. And I think a lot of people in games where Steph Curry is not in the lineup, people are immediately going to look at Jimmy Butler and say, you have got to put the ball in the bucket. He is, even with Steph not being in today, refused to look at the bucket most trips up the floor. He hit a couple of threes. His 3-point jump shot really didn't look bad. But I reckon I saw Jimmy take one mid-range jump shot today. The rest of them were like little layups. He had that end one against Gobert that sort of shifted the momentum in the game. I don't understand it. He's one of the best playoff players in our generation. I think everybody that watches basketball can agree with that. And he's just refusing to get to the bucket. I need one game like he had about... If we got one game where, like the Bucks 2 years ago, where he dropped 40 and the stadium was... That's one of my favourite playoff memories ever. Him hitting that deep shot, Kevin Harlan on the call going crazy. The Miami arena's literally shaking. And we're not getting anything like that out of Jimmy at the moment. He looks so insanely passive. It's insane. The only game that he's played this entire playoff run and actually, gone at the other team was when Dylan Brooks had to say something to him. I don't understand, it doesn't make much sense to me. Brandon Podziemski played 33 minutes, had 11 points. His jump shot wasn't falling. Buddy Hield honestly gave quality minutes. We just put Buddy in a position that Buddy's not comfortable in. He's not a dribble, shoot the ball, create your own shot kind of guy. He's going to catch the ball and he's going to shoot the shit out of the ball. But he can't do that when we're putting primary ball handling roles onto him. It's just not going to work. As I said, Jonathan Kuminga, great game. Trace Jackson-Davis came off the bench and gave us 15. He was incredible. He was one of the only guys off the bench that actually participated and did things really well. He was catching lobs. He was just giving extra threat towards the ring. And, it was good to see. Wasn't enough, though. Shout out to the Timberwolves. Anthony Edwards and him being 23 and being able to get over a ankle sprain within 20 minutes is ridiculous, but it is what it is. As I said, the series goes back to the Bay at 1 game apiece. Don't really know where to go from here. We need to get 1 game at Golden State. I don't know whether that's off the back of Jimmy Butler, whether that's off the back of more Jonathan Kuminga minutes, whether that's off another horrific game from the Timberwolves, which between me and you, I really don't think is going to happen. So that's all I have for today. That was a bit of a rant. I do apologise. Whenever the team goes down, there's always things you can sort of pick at. And I feel like you could diagnose them even more when you're a fan of the team. So that's all I really have for you guys today. I'm sorry I missed a couple of days worth of videos. Just trying to find time to do it day in, day out. Sometimes really hard for me. So I am trying my best. I'm appreciating all the love and the views. I'm going to continue to get it going. Going to continue to get these videos out. As we get closer to the off season, I'm really going to start thinking about sort of the content that I'm going to produce over the off season, because as we all know, it is a long 5 or 6 months with no basketball. So I really got to work out what we're doing there, but I'll sort something out. Thank you guys so much. Like and subscribe would be awesome from you guys. I'll get another video out hopefully tomorrow. I forgot what games are on tomorrow. Let me just have a quick look while I'm here. The Pacers and Cavs are back tomorrow. It's a must-win game for the Cavs, and the Nuggets and Thunder are also back tomorrow. Back at Ball Arena, the home teams are flipped, so we'll see what happens with that. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys hopefully tomorrow, and I will leave it there. Thank you guys.